That's tremendous.
And then we get inside the safe zone, and one of the guys, again, a colonel. I don't know if everybody's a colonel. I have no idea what his rank was. The guy who's in charge comes up and he goes, guys, the chopper is wrecked. And I believe Jericho was on the chopper. I think, I'm not sure. Jericho was on that trip. I think he was with us. And he could have been on the chopper that kind of, hit and crack. I'm not sure. You have to ask Chris. He's doing a great job, by the way. I'm a big guy. I love the way Chris reinvents himself every couple months, 6 months. It's just fantastic. But we get into the zone, and the colonel or whoever it was says, we're going to convoy back to Baghdad. And I said, sir, do I have a vote? And he goes, of course you do, sir. And I said, can I vote against the convoy? I said, I do not want to drive across Baghdad. And I'd done it before, like in this armored vehicle. It's kind of cool. You're like in a fishbowl, and everything around you is military, grade windows and things where you could shoot an RPG in there, and then supposedly wouldn't come through. But we were going to go back through in Humvees. And now we'd have an escort and all that stuff. But I'm like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to convoy across Iraq. And the guy said, well, sir, you may be stuck here all night. And I said, I'm surrounded by special ops. I'm not really worried that I'm here. I said, I'm more worried about the Humvee trip going across Baghdad. And he goes, okay, no problem. And everybody was like, John, thank you so much for speaking up. We didn't want to go either. The guy got us a bird back pretty quick. And we go back across Baghdad. But that's another point. I just fallen asleep. It was cold as it could be. It was like typical desert. So it was during the day, it was pretty warm.
You want to ask, why did you feel more comfortable on a helicopter than in a Humvee?
Because I thought we had better evasive tactics. I'd been in the helicopter so many times. We always had a ship. Usually had a ship that go with us with guns, and we could see so much more people because we own the air. You look at the Russia invasion of Ukraine. How they invaded. They invaded it in the morning like you would back in the Revolutionary War. It's because of two things. They didn't own the air and they didn't own the night. We owned both. And so anything in the air, we could pretty much control. Now, they had the RPGs, the anti-aircraft missiles. That was a lot harder to hit than you had landmines planted everywhere for convoys and things like that. So I felt much safer flying in a Black Hawk or in one of the other type of military choppers going across.
It's just, man, it's a scary thing to even have to be in that spot to think about this, especially as a pro wrestler. And I know you were there because you wanted to be, but I can't imagine like if you were a wrestler who was on the fence and now you're like, wait a minute, we don't want the Humvee. Wait, there's smoke bombs. I mean, it's not your normal, hey, we got to find Jim Tam laundry, I do want to ask you about some of the other fun shenanigans you got to have though, because I think there was a story with a ladies champion jouster. Is that a thing?
Oh yeah. I believe it was in Afghanistan. Yes. And they wanted to challenge me. I believe it was, the time when I was having to run as JBL, and they wanted to challenge me to get up on this jousting platform, very small area. And you had like these big jousting sticks with big, things at the end, but they're not pillows. These are hard as a rock, these things. And so they sit there and just whack each other until one falls off the freaking podium. So there's like this woman there, soldier, and the one that challenged me, because I come over because I'm JBL, and they, this woman beating JBL is going to be very good, which I wouldn't have beat her anyway. Even if I could have, I couldn't have, by the way. She was the base champion. I knew this going in. I thought, I'm not going to let this woman just kill me. I just don't want to do this today. Because I didn't thought, what if she might break my nose or something? It's like, this is going to be bad. So we talked Masters into doing it. Masters had that great body, big, strong guy. He had no chance. She'd have beat me. She'd beat Big Show. She'd have beat anybody. And of course, she beat Masters. And all the soldiers were all so happy about it, thrilled about it. She beat this, huge, great, good-looking wrestler. And then Carlito got up there. They talked him into it somehow. And this is one of the greatest stories ever. That Carlito gets up there and goes, hey, would you like to take a picture or something like that? And when she turned, he sucker punched her. Not sucker punch, but with the jab. Bam, got her and knocked her off the gimmick. Well, now she's furious. Now she wants nothing but to kill Carlito, and Carlito refuses to get back up. It was the greatest thing ever. I became the biggest fan ever of Carlito that day. He had legit heat from the military that day. It was awesome. I thought, they have guns. They might shoot him.
We've got a bunch of great photos that you shared with us before we clicked record. I wanted to have a chance to run through some of those and have you just explain what we're looking at and give us a little bit of a backstory. Our producer, Dave Silva, has those ready for us. And I'm sure that some of these are going to be the first time anybody has seen these photos.
Oh my God, this is the best story. So this was when it was, you can see how sunburned I am. Just by having my shirt off just a little bit. This was in the summer. I was there with Ron. And it was so freaking hot. So we had a guy with us with WWE that was kind of in charge. And I'm the world's worst around people that, tell me what to do. If you ask me what to do, I'll do anything. But if you tell me, I'm like a rebellious child, and I know this. I'm 58 now, and I know this. So he was kind of just, he ran things. He would tell us, hey, do this, do that. He'd tell me and Ron, he'd order us around. And it never really didn't set well with us. So we wanted to do something with the fire truck. This is in Iraq, obviously on a tarmac. And he said, no, don't do that. So I went and got the guys that were in the fire truck, and I said, hey, guys, can you show me how to run the hose? They go, oh, yeah, sir. I said, what would I do if I hit somebody with it? They go, oh, sir, you'd wash them all the way down the tarmac. I said, perfect. So they were all posing for a photo, and I pulled up behind them in the fire truck with the fire hat on, and I washed them all the way down the tarmac with the fire hose. That thing was powerful. That thing was so good. And Vince asked me later, he goes, did you wash a WWE executive down the tarmac? I said, you're damn right I did. He goes, that's good shit. Good shit. Yeah, I love it.
What a great fucking story.
Yeah, I snuck up behind them. All the soldiers were in on it, and they're out there taking a photo, and he was like running things, telling people what to do and all this stuff. It just didn't set well with him that here's this guy. We're in a war zone. These soldiers doing a great job, and he thinks he's General Patton coming in here. So I thought, the thing to do is just wash his ass right down the tarmac with a very high-powered hose. And that's what I did.
So, John, we got a bunch of other great photos that you shared with us here that I'm sure you've got great backstories with. So let's take a look here. What are we looking at here? Who else is in this photo? I recognize that fellow on the left, I believe.
Yeah, the fellow on our left, that would happen to be the 16-time world champion. The fellow on the right, we always joked was Leon White, his twin brother. They called him Big John Gaburk. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person. We always go to, it's time. I fear no man. I feel no pain. It always, because he looked a lot like Leon White. Just a wonderful guy, John Gaburk. That was us getting ready to go somewhere as we're in Iraq there, I believe. I believe we are. There's trees back there. Maybe that's in D.C. I don't know. Like I say, it was a colonel. I use that for every person I met. It was a colonel in the military. I don't know.
John Cena, of course, was in the main event of the very first Tribute to the Troop show, him and Big Show. How big of a fan of these tours was John Cena? It feels like this is right up his alley.
Oh, my God. I mean, you look at a guy who does all this for Make-A-Wish, and he was just, the guys loved him, and he loved them. John is a genuine guy. I always say if you built a superstar from the ground up, it looked like Randy Orton, and that's true. Talking about the wrestler, that's true. Everything about Randy is just what you want out of a professional wrestler. Well, if you built a representative for a company from the ground up, it would look like John Cena. He was just perfect. He did everything right, and he meant everything. It wasn't bullshit. It wasn't John just playing a role, doing the right thing because he knew he'd be the guy. He's the guy because he did the right thing. A big freaking difference.